at Salty Swami's really swank cafe. It's a surf shop and a gallery, and let's take a quick walk through here. I'm So it's got specialty coffees and all day brunch and bites and drink and dinner, and it's a lovely place to hang out. It's so cool. We take you through there. So I'm going to take you through here. So it says aloha, please remove your shoes and slippers. So there's a real decorum that's here in terms of respecting the space and not bringing dirty and all of that too. So here's the lovely shop with surfboards, which Salty Swamis have, branded and nice little gear and souvenirs, and it's run by a couple of really nice people, young people, and so you see some clothing, t-shirts, merchandise. See the t-shirts here, Salty Swami. So I'm really impressed with the two young men, Yannick and Yevin Tisera, who I've known for a lifetime. I admire entrepreneurs in the first place, and to be an entrepreneur, it takes a lot of guts. It takes nose. I'm thrilled with entrepreneurs because I've been self-employed all my life, and I know what it takes in terms of for myself and my cousin Viren, who started the solar business, and Pradeep Javalan, who joined Viren Pereira and I way back in 1984, 85, when we were, I think, young and foolish at the time. But I don't think Evin and Yannick were young and foolish. They were determined to start something. They trained in Australia in the hospitality industry, and they thought they could do something here. They are expert baristas. They make the best coffee in town. So they pay attention to detail, and they're both very creative. And for me, it's just amazing what they have put together as they evolve. So I'm going to take you through the cafe a little bit and talk about some of the challenges that they face too. So here's the coffee machine, and the baristas are there. They're getting ready for the day. It's early morning, and as I walk through the cafe, see the ocean is there. It's a beautiful Arugam Bay, and see the design. So the other challenge they have is the fact that they move from every 6 months from one side of the country to the other side of the country. They were in Hikkaduwa for 6 months before, and they now moved, and they just started about a week ago and got it going, and they're going to launch tonight. So it's an amazing, huge move that they have to make every 6 months, because the southwest monsoons are starting in the Gaul Hikkaduwa area. So they lock, stock and barrel come here and start again. So imagine that, every 6 months to have an upheaval and a move like that. And there's an incredible team of people here, staff here, who I worked with yesterday, who I had a nice conversation with in terms of how do they deal with pressure, how do they deal with difficult situations, and they're so impressive. They're so happy, a happy bunch of people, a lovely bunch of people. And that's the kitchen there now. They had to make this kitchen all over again. They had to move the kitchen because of a real estate issue they had. And imagine also starting a new kitchen every 6 months, and the logistics of all of these things too. So as you sit by your ocean here, I just want to talk a little bit more about the challenges that they have, and any entrepreneur, especially in the hotel industry, we know already the huge logistical issues they have, because it's a day-to-day business. They have to buy food, buy other materials, so the perishables and the non-perishables, especially the perishables. Managing the perishables alone is a huge challenge, isn't it? So these are things that I admire them to manage those intricacies. They're constantly moving back and forth with suppliers, so the supply chain issues, and of course the other challenges that we have to meet. You talk about VUCA. Everything is volatile, everything is uncertain, everything is complex, and everything is ambiguous. This is all the epitome of that, because the volatility of the world right now, the war in the Gulf has created issues in terms of there was hardly any tourists who came during the time, but I'm really chuffed to see that Arugambe is full of tourists now, and people are coming in, and there's a surf point there on that other side that we'll talk about later. I can see people surfing there, even though you will not be able to see that. And uh, so, so volatility, uncertainty, complexity of the business because of as I said, all of those moving parts that are there, including staff. Then the weather. Then, of course, handling difficult clients, because there's a bell curve with clients, right? There's a nasty lot, and there's the not so nice, and then there's, of course, people who love being served by good people. So even all of that, we talked about all that yesterday. So some of the other challenges for these young entrepreneurs is the fact that the government also, because Sri Lanka is mired with debt, so we have to answer to, we have to put up with the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, who dictates terms to the country in terms of taxation and laws and all of that. So it gets affected in terms of to the hospitality industry. And those are moving targets, so they're constantly changing apparently. And small and medium businesses, enterprises are the backbone of most of the world. So I'm really surprised that governments really pay little attention to them. And if you look at the entire strip here in Arugambe, it's all small businesses, business owners. There's no box stores, there's no big chains that have come here, thankfully, and I hope they never come here because they ruin the community, right? So they need to be supported. So governments have to be aware of this. And I was privy to some conversations with other entrepreneurs and hoteliers in the region. Their aunt Sharon Tisera has been a pioneer on the other side, who own Hideaway Cabanas, and has built up a really nice place there over the years. They were the pioneers actually in Arugambe. They were there even during the war, and I've been there at that time in the 90s. So, and then my cousins Ravini and Charlene own Sri Sharabi in Mirissa, along with their brother Viren Pereira, who also own Ulpata, the yoga retreat. So they are all talking about the issues because they wanna play by the rules, and they play by the rules, and the governance is number one for them. And fiduciary responsibilities they take seriously, and there are a minority who do that. So they need to be supported by the government by recognizing them and incentivizing the good people who are working by the rules, who are paying their taxes, by maybe having a star system. So I really recommend that for Sri Lanka to think about as a part of the tourism policies. Maybe it's already there, I don't know. But from the challenges that I've heard that they face, not much is happening in that area. So we need people, we need policymakers and politicians to really focus on the small entrepreneurs, because enterprise is what drives a nation. So, all right. So just thought I'll talk about this today in this beautiful morning before we head out to the ocean for our constitutional swim after our breathing exercises and meditation. So be well, be happy.